that a new logo up in the top left corner there?
Yeah, StreamYard changed. But they said it's still the same StreamYard that you're used to. But they say something's updated every week, but this is like a real update. Like it looks different. I don't understand. So
I'm gonna do one of these on the podcast all day. I'm gonna hold the mic just like this, like a rock
like a
singer.
oh, okay, like a rock singer. Okay.
Yeah, I'm
And
gonna do one of these real like this.
I
You
didn't know
get real good sound out of me,
I didn't know where you were going with that.
out of my
Um,
body. Just I'm gonna like kind of go.
do it in front of Molly.
No, I'm just holding my mic.
He's just holding his mic.
Yeah, that's great. He's like a true broadcaster.
She said you're like a
Boom. Boom.
boom. Hey, thanks for burrito.
How dare you do that to me?
She walked in while you were
How
double
dare you
handing
try
the
to
mic.
ruin my friendship?
I'm gonna do an unboxing. Can you hear that?
You know, I like Chick-fil-A's breakfast. If I think we probably talked about this on the show over the past 10 years. Whatever it is, we've been doing this. Breakfast ratings. But Chick-fil-A's up there for me. I enjoy, to me, sort of the OG, like the standard is McDonald's breakfast. That is the best thing that they do. It is amazing. The McDonald's breakfast is great, and everything is just sort of trying to live up to the McDonald's breakfast. But the thing about McDonald's breakfast is I could have it every single day and be fine. Like I could literally have McDonald's breakfast every single day. Every single fucking day, Brad.
I'm not mad at McDonald's breakfast. It is a once in a blue moon in the rotation, but I'm not mad at it. And I will say the way things have changed for Chick-fil-A for me and probably for the household at least, I would say breakfast is their best presentation now. Or at least the most consistent because the nugs, the sandwiches, like you just never know anymore, dude.
Yeah, I know.
I don't
It
know
could be
what's
amazing.
happened.
So I like Chick-fil-A breakfast too. The chicken biscuit is amazing, and I think the burrito's good too. Underrated.
You know what I've been leaning on lately?
What have you been leaning into?
The chicken, egg, and cheese.
I feel weird about the chicken and the egg.
I do feel weird about it, but once I got past chicken two ways,
Yeah.
it was great. It's so good.
You know who's got an underrated breakfast out there? Well, I shouldn't even say it's underrated. I think a lot of people have eaten it, but I think most people eat this breakfast at 3 a.m. and probably don't give it its due.
Little WBZ.
Little WB. Man, that, first of all, the breakfast on a bun, legit. And
BLB is good.
BLB's good, but don't sleep on the jalapeno cheddar biscuit sausage sandwich.
Not sleeping on that, but you know what so that used to be a pretty regular before I met my new body. I'm gonna lock in with you because I know Rye has the capability to do the. You know when Rye is like, "Hey guys, I had 6 shots, couple of stouts, polished off some turkey wraps, and then after that,
8 pounds of queso."
Yeah, and then after that, I needed a nightcap, so I went back to 3 fingers of 12-year bourbon or whatever, right? And we'll be like, God, that's insane. And I know he can eat too, right? But I feel like his normal way of drinking, and we'd be like, that sounds crazy, is our normal way of eating. And he'd be like, I could do that, but I just would never do that on my day. So the way I used to eat breakfast
is the way he drinks.
Yeah. I might have used to roll up the Whataburger on your ass and order 2 breakfast burgers.
Oh, yeah.
Breakfast burgers, not breakfast on a bun. The creation of the breakfast burger over like the last 3 years used to be a limited thing. Now it's just there.
Yeah.
The breakfast burger. And if I'm feeling real spicy that day, might need to work in a honey chicken biscuit. I'm gonna eat these 2 breakfast burgers, and in 30 minutes, I don't want to feel like, hey, that didn't just quite do it. So I'll finish off the orange juice with the honey chicken biscuit. Now, I could never do that right now, but we're not that far in the rear view from when that used to be a nice little regular thing.
Whataburger's funny because it's unique because the side items are full on entrees for me there. So I'll get a B.O.B. or jalapeno cheddar sausage biscuit, and on the side I will have a taquito.
Yeah.
I will have a side taquito.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying. Get 2 taquitos, and then, hey, I don't know. I might just need a breakfast on the bun there. Just you put them together.
From the show that brought you side hot dog.
That's right.
That's no surprise. The side taquito is like, that's standard fare. Side hot dog is another level up. Did I just, Brad, hear you try to compare something that you used to be able to do to something I do all the time?
I'm saying
also whatever you used to do is also what I used to do.
No, you behave yourself
when
when you
3 burgers. Because you're talking to the man that ordered 3 honey butter chicken biscuits and ate them in the gas station car wash.
No, I understand that. I didn't say that you couldn't do it. I'm saying that the way you behave with food, because you're like, hey, I got to be able to have like some boundaries somewhere so that I can do the out of the parameters for the other stuff.
Yeah.
But I would say Jason and I would say maybe more a year ago, like I haven't done that breakfast burger situation in probably over a year, but I might just be like, hey, it's Tuesday. I'm doing 2 breakfast burgers and a honey chicken biscuit. Like, and for me, I know you could do that, but you would be like, that's the exception.
I haven't been able to do that since my early 30s, really, with a clear conscience, sadly. Do love Whataburger breakfast, though. I don't really get breakfast out ever, but McDonald's, you're right, Jace. McDonald's is a standard bearer. Chick-fil-A is good, but I don't ever go to Chick-fil-A for breakfast. If I don't go to McDonald's, I'm going to go to Whataburger. And that's probably just about it, unless I'm getting a breakfast taco type scene somewhere.
I'm going to close it on
RIP, Meet You Anywhere's TC location.
Oh, so sad.
I'm going to close it on this.
I think they own the building. I think the building's I'm pretty sure he owns that building. It's worth more as something other than a barbecue spot. Barbecue
I'm going to close it on this because I know I'm going to get some hate from the gallery. My go-to regular rotation breakfast.
If you say Wendy's, I swear to God, I'm going
to punch you in the
mouth. He's gonna say Burger King.
These days. And I know I'm going to get some agreement and I know I'm going to get some hate. But these days, my number one regular rotation breakfast spot. Little place they call Brahms.
Okay.
Sausage, egg, and cheese biscuit. I have done the testing. It is the best sausage, egg, and cheese biscuit.
Do they have a drive-thru?
Yo.
Do they
have
a drive-thru?
What the fuck did he just say?
Why would I know? It's an ice cream shop.
I'm not gonna.
When did it become this? I think,
I think you just have a warped perception.
No. We're still pre-intro here, but I think we need to unpack how Brahms branded themselves in 1986 and how that impacts my opinion of what they are.
Human dads. 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 Podcast. Human dads. Podcast. Human dads. Podcast. Human dads. Podcast. Human dads. Get up off your ass. Human dads. Podcast. Human dads. Podcast. Human dads. Podcast. Human dads. Get up off your ass.
Oh, your mom.
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 Tell your mom.
Oh, your mom.
Tell your mom to listen. Tell your mom to listen. Tell your mom to listen. Tell your mom to listen.
Get up off your ass for the Human Dads Podcast.
Get up off your ass.
Sorry, mouthful of spicy chicken burrito. We are here in this gloomy ass spring morning, gentlemen.
What a weird last 2 days of weather situation.
Just gloomy and windy and
chill.
not go more than 2 days without the wind blowing 60 miles an hour all day.
It is a little annoying because it's the level of wind where you've got to be sitting with obstruction next to you to enjoy it outside. Because if you were just sitting out in the regular pattern of your backyard, it's smacking you in the face.
Oh,
It's making it a little chilly. You want to
but
get
not
a fire
chilly
going.
enough. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the weird chili. It's the bad chili. It's kind of the humid, but also like
But
I
you
gotta
know what
wear
also
shorts.
it is? It's also the chili that has been a little bit absent. So your body has started to acclimate to 91 because we've hit 91 a number of days here recently. But then you got to be like, hey, 91, I'm not fully up in you yet. I got to still be prepared for a 44.
Yeah.
I was cold getting out of bed this morning, and it's cool but not cold for that reason. I was used to being from the East Coast. I was used to being hot there for a little while.
Yeah.
And then
Your body
this morning,
starts
I was
to
like,
get
"Damn."
in the gear. And then
Yeah.
as soon as it's in the gear, it's like, here's a nice 44 with 25 mile per hour gusts on your ass.
On your ass.
On your ass.
No, you can't sit outside and enjoy anything. Everything you own is going to blow away.
I feel bad for those families having to muster the baseball right now and the soccer, because if it is 25 mile per hour winds in regular life when you step out into your backyard and it's 45 degrees outside, when you're on that soccer field, it is 97 mile per hour winds and it might as well be 20, because there's something that happens in the vortex of the sports facilities with the fields and the baseball fields where when you're out on those, just knock everything down by about 30%. And that's what you're dealing with out there, sitting still, watching somebody crowd around a soccer ball while none of them know what to do.
I'm great. Thanks for asking. I was going to,
Hey, Jace, good to see you.
I made a decision yesterday or the day before that I wanted to have a little grill out, little grill action this weekend. Cause I was like, I'm starting to get into the feeling of spring. And I wanted to fire up the grill, the gravity smoker that serves as a grill too. Gets real hot. It's nice. So I went out to the store and bought a bunch of, little burgers and hot dogs and some chicken, some stuff to meal prep for the week. I had planned to do it today, but I'm not doing it today. I don't feel like this is the correct environment to get out there and fire up a grill in. It just doesn't feel right. There's no sun. It's just kind of weird. Like it doesn't feel like I should be out there grilling. Am I wrong?
I'll grill in any weather.
I was about to say, I don't feel you're wrong, but I feel like Rylan will say, I don't know what's going to stop me from grilling if I want to grill.
But I understand you weren't just grilling because you had this meal you wanted to prepare. You wanted to have the feeling
experience
of being outside and doing it that way, which is not exactly the same. And I agree with you. Like I would not elect to grill today. No, unless I just already had a piece of meat thawed and had already planned on a meal. Right.
Right.
No.
Are you not prepared weather guy or prepared weather dad?
Sometimes I'm all up in the weather and I'm asking Alexa every day what the next day is going to be like.
I feel like this is a good dad subject because I don't understand people who don't know what's going on with the weather. And I think it's turned into one of my things. Like take some of my social media time and spread that across the 2 weather apps that I use on my phone. And
what are you, Yanaki weather guy? Yanaki weather or weather bug?
Google weather, and then when the day is closer, I don't look at it for the 10-day, but it's called hyperlocal weather.
Oh,
and
okay.
I will look at that, and I will spend time around this time of year. I will spend time looking at that wind forecast or that wind, what we're dealing with, and then precipitation. And then, so I've got it broken down by day, and then I'll check the hourly, and then I might have to run the film on the radar. Just might have to run it back like 5 or 6 times.
Yeah.
And then I got to zoom out. So now, I've seen our area, but let me see where it's coming from. Let me follow a time span here. I don't know what it's like to not be prepared for weather.
I normally am, but I think what has messed me up is all the travel that I've done lately and not being able to focus in on one particular area. I generally feel the same way as you do. I will say, though, as a weather dad, vacation is tough because if you're going out to Florida, which you boys know, I do love Florida, right?
You don't have to
guys
tell
know I love-
us. You don't even tell
Right.
us. You don't have to tell us like a half of a time, let alone
Yeah.
once. Like as soon
Right.
as you start to form your face, we know there's a high percentage chance he's about to say something about Florida.
Yeah, Florida. I will be visiting Florida this year, obviously.
I'd be surprised if you just said it was once.
There could be multiple. We'll see what
Yeah.
what the fall looks like, but the Florida's tough because Weather Dad looks at that and you see rain on the forecast every single summer day. And that gets, even though you know what to expect, you understand the tropical weather situation, it still kind of hurts you in the right down in the loin, right down in the grundle. And
Your rain is connected to your junk? The rain is connected
oh
to your
yeah.
junk?
Are you kidding me? I know
Like,
when it's
some
about to
people
rain
are
because
like,
I feel it
"Oh."
like a
Like the cold's coming, I could feel my knee acting up, and you're like, "Hey, my taint's on fire."
it's more like an electrical zap than like a burning. But yeah, it's
So
like
a taint stab.
yeah, well, kind of like a taint tingle is what I would probably stick with.
Taint tingle. Okay.
Yeah, it's like
Do you have to be outside to feel this, or
No,
do you just
it's-
wake up and feel it right
Would
when
you
you
say
wake
it's-
up?
it's connected to bariatric pressure, so it's I don't
Yeah,
have to
would
be
you
outside.
say it like it's a pain thing?
Bariatric pressure. Did you catch
Yeah.
that?
No, I got it. Yeah. Everybody knows that husky dudes from Ohio have bariatric pressure tank.
I just want someone to think that he meant barometric. I think that people need to understand that he fucking meant bariatric.
It's on the spectrum of swamp taint.
Bariatric pressure is
Yeah. It's in there. You know what I saw that made me on the way here that made me think, man, this weather is just even worse than it actually looks. There ain't nothing worse than seeing the beaten garage sale. And I'm not here to tell you that there's like a good garage sale, you know what I mean? But the beaten garage sale
It's a low
is when-
ceiling.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. The beaten garage sale is when you can tell they just didn't have enough to fill out their area that they're calling the garage sale. So like we might see some, like if there's stuff hanging, I think we should have a good dozen things hanging, right? But if we've only got like 4 things in the hanging presentation, we've got a beaten garage sale on our hand. If we've got tables, then I better be able to walk like an aisle in tables. One table, we're in a beaten territory. And then we've just kind of got stuff sprawled throughout the driveway that doesn't really, there's not enough volume to take up the space. Like if I drove by in my car, I can see everything because there's no obstructions. There's no extra levels. And a beaten garage sale on a day like this, I almost just said, hey, it's time to cancel everything we got for the rest of the day. And we're just going to go lay on the couch because this day.
That's what you do. You have to do that. There is a very specific point of no return with garage sale. When you get to beaten level, you pack it up. It's done. That rest of that stuff is going to donation. You cannot sit out there with a blanket on the ground with like 4 toys on it, 3 hanging sweaters, and a box of shoes on an empty table and call yourself a garage sale. At that point, you just have shit in your yard. You're not a garage sale
That's
anymore.
what it looks like. It looks like shit in your yard. And I will say I would forgive that at 2:00 in the afternoon. Because the presumption at that point is that maybe somebody has ravaged you for your goods. Maybe somebody has come through and bought up all your junk stuff, right? But it was like 8:50 in the morning. We're still early in the day. You should have, as we had our conversation last week, you should have just taken that stuff and put it in the stuff pile for people to come take if they want, or the trash to take out. Not think you're going to make a couple extra buck on this. Just a beaten scene right in the middle of the neighborhood too, on the main thoroughfare that gets you in to Yale Park on Yale Boulevard. You know,
I talked to I had spent some time with a guy recently who does a lot of intimately does a lot of estate sales. Is big into estate sales.
That's a weird little niche. Like he goes to them.
Yeah.
Okay, he's not putting them on.
No, he's not. He's not holding them. He's attending them. Yeah. And I learned a lot about that whole situation. And speaking of beaten, the stories that he tells, like, here's the thing about estate sales. What happens is someone dies, had to leave the house, whatever. They don't like go in there and stage it so that people, they just go, here's an estate sale. Come on in, take whatever you want to buy. And the house is exactly in the state.
They
do walk around and price things.
Yeah, they hire a group to go around and put stickers on stuff.
But that's about it. Yeah,
but
my aunt used to do that.
He was telling me that you'll, depending on how, I don't know, organized the house is, you may walk into a house and see a layer of dust on every single thing in there because there hasn't been a person or someone there to clean in a very long time.
They haven't been looking after the dog that well, so you will see the fresh within the last 2 years of deterioration dog stains on the carpet.
For sure.
Yeah.
You'll see like
the deterioration of a human life. You will see it.
You can see, yes.
Yeah.
That is not a world. I told him there's something very depressing to me about walking through a dead person's house and buying their stuff.
And just making it like we're perusing the aisles at Gap.
Yeah, like I'm at Macy's.
Yeah, like we're at Macy's. You know, when you're into the niche hobbies, the record collecting, the media collecting, the vintage clothing collecting, the vintage figurine sculpture stuff, you know, when you're into the stuff, you will go to the estate sale. And because we live in a pretty affluent area, I mean, all three of us, we are very any one of us could get into some nice multi-million-dollar home neighborhoods 15 minutes from our house. And when those people put on the estate sale, you will see a line out the door for people wanting to get some secondhand goods that were probably a vintage, or were probably a designer, or were probably a name brand at the original purchase time. But now they're going to be there for sale at 20% of, you know, what you would have paid otherwise. So yeah, you will see the estate sale drawing some people in, you know?
Yeah. He's a big record collector, and his main item that he's hunting down is a record, or a record player. He's got a bunch of those too, really into the sound and
my brother will do the estate sale for the same cause on your ass.
Yeah. But he also told me that he's one of those guys that like takes a lot of pride in being frugal. He's not, I wouldn't say he's cheap necessarily, but he gets that adrenaline rush from saving money. I don't think either of you guys understand that. That's not your thing. Ryland's way too like practical to be that kind of guy, and I don't think that you're that way either, Brad. But he gets like adrenaline rush from saving money. So like and he lives in a very nice area of Richardson, so it's not like he's hurting for money. But he needed a new grill, and he saw that there was an estate sale down the road that happened to have a grill. So he just walked down there, bought their grill, and then rolled that thing down the street back to his backyard. And he had himself a new grill for whatever, 40% of the cost of what that grill would be.
Can I tell you this with the junk sale, the estate sale? What I do, I fully agree with you. And I think it's my first thought when I drive by and I just see people standing out. Like, my assumption is this guy's probably not far off from the Canyon Creek area. And when an estate sale is happening in the Canyon Creek area of Richardson, which is on the nice golf course, you will see people lined up. You will see cars on the road because it's a nice neighborhood over there. And my first initial thought is like, hey, let's just go pick through somebody's life. But the second thought I would say is it is cool. I think it is a good idea that stuff gets like a second life.
Agreed.
Instead of just going into a hole in the ground somewhere, the idea that one, if something is of good quality and still has life in it, like, yes, I'm not going and doing it all the time.
Well, we've already talked before. There's too much stuff.
Yeah. that somebody
everywhere.
would,
So if we
especially
can
something like a
use
grill.
stuff, let's use existing stuff.
A grill like that to me seems like the perfect estate sale acquisition. You know?
Yeah. Well, this whole conversation started because we were talking about the stuff issue we discussed last podcast. But
who's this fellow Richardson resident? What's his first name?
good guy, great guy, and I'm not going to tell you that. But he, I was, again, I don't need more shit. But the idea, again, of like finding something pretty cool that I can take back to my house for a really cheap price does give me a little tingle, you know?
Shoes are probably too far, right?
He told me one time he walked into someone's house and this was a gay couple, a gay
unnecessary point.
No, the point will be made in a second. There was a gay couple, two men who had either left their home or one passed away. I don't know. But he walked in, and apparently these two gay guys were exactly the same size as him, and they just had a tremendous amount of clothes in their closet that were the perfect size, and he just loaded up bags of gay clothes that he took home and wore, and they were really nice, he said. Obviously, they were like very fashionable and nice, and now he has like a new wardrobe for a great price.
I think shoes are on the table depending on the type of shoe.
Like a gay shoe?
No, I don't associate shoes with sexual.
What about
orientation.
clothing? Have you ever called something gay clothes?
Probably not directly, but I think there's like a certain set of attributes that, I mean, there's things Elton John would wear on stage, and there's things.
Okay, so that makes
Not
sense.
Elton John
Okay,
would
so your
wear on
friend
stage.
went to this estate sale and bought a bunch of Elton John clothing?
No, this was more
No,
subtle gay.
Yeah, like a little more like
Subtle
every
gay
day.
clothes. Okay, subtle
How about
gay
this? I'm
clothes.
going to just assume that maybe they fit better, and there was a little more color or coordination between the pieces, just a little more thoughtfully put together. How about it's a wardrobe that was actually put together with thought and not some shit from Kohl's?
Dude,
maybe
do
that's
not
more what we're talking about.
Yeah, Brad, don't sit here and pretend
I think
like
you
the
could
gay
have used-
community doesn't have the greatest fashion sense of
I
all
think you could-
populations.
Okay, I think you could have used like a well curated wardrobe, or like you could have said something like a well put together.
Oh, so you want to take that away from them? You don't want you don't want them to have that. That's one of the greatest things that they have, and you don't want me to attribute that to them.
Okay, so rank the things that gay people have. Yeah, you
Clothing.
said that's one of the greatest. Okay, so they've got great gay clothes.
Gossip,
Disco.
disco,
Okay. What else?
Male hairstylists.
Why have
Yeah.
why have none of you mentioned bravery?
Isn't everybody care? Isn't that like everybody?
That's not unique. That's weird that you're trying to attribute bravery to a certain population. Everybody can be brave, dude.
Okay.
Hold on, let me go back to what you asked because there are more. So hairstylists,
Do they make good fried chicken?
No. I think we know who's good at that.
what
I
else
think-
do?
I-
That's a really good question.
rank the stuff that the gays do.
They do so many things
that
so
they
well.
have as culture that's like culturally associated.
All right. Let's move on to something
Storytelling. Storytelling
indeed.
is typically top notch, by the way.
else. Okay. What? What do you
Just very expressive, like typically, like really great storytellers.
Okay. I got my eye on you, and I'm telling you that right now. I started my photography journey. Did I tell you guys? Remember how I told you for my New
I saw
Year's?
a flavor change on your IG. Is that related?
I don't know what you mean by flavor change.
It just you look different. You started posting like Mike Marshall style pictures, like smaller. I clearly tried to take this like a picture.
Oh,
and
like
not just a-
pictures. Yeah.
Yeah, and not just like a hey, I
Candid
clicked my
kid
thing
moment.
with my
Yeah.
phone. Yeah,
I did start my photography journey. And I've quickly realized that it's one of those things where you're just like, hey, I'm going to start going to estate sales for camera lenses. Like,
Oh yeah.
that's
Buddy.
That's exactly, like, I could see how this just immediately turns into one of those things where enough is just not enough. And what you have just can't be what you have. There is a need for more. I tell my kids all the time as it relates to the things that you practice. So the things that fill up our weeknights, your voice lessons, your band, your basketball, your volleyball, your soccer. I tell them all the time, you got to go out there and just like keep trying thousands of times, right? It's not about like, did you 100% do it well? It's about going out there and trying 1,000 times, and you'll start to figure it out at that point. But there's going to be a lot of failure in there, and there's going to be a lot of bad tries, and there's going to be a lot of defeat, and there's going to be a lot of feelings that you don't like when you are trying to get those thousands of tries until you become good at something. Nobody starts something and they're just good at it. And I found myself today trying to take volleyball pictures in a horribly lit junior high school gym. And I had to, as I'm looking at my 12-year-old, and she's like really trying to get into the point to where she can just let the last play go. Like we've talked about this before, right? Where sometimes that one play can screw up the whole trajectory. Like there's 77 plays left in the games that we're going to play today. But after that one play, the subsequent 77 plays are just not full force because we're stuck in our head because of that one damn play.
That's very big in that age group. I watch that every weekend in varying degrees. That's like the number one challenge, I think, for 10 to 12.
So I'm over here and I'm taking the shots and I'm like, I'm just not liking anything. And I realize what my limitations are. I realize what the limitations of my equipment are. And I realize the limitations of the environment, but I'm just not liking it. And I'll be damned if I took maybe 170 snaps today. And I think I liked maybe 5 of them. Maybe 5 of them.
Welcome to photography, bud.
Thank you. And I know you've got a little experience, a little scratch in this game here, so you know what I'm talking about. But it just, every time I encounter one of these situations, I'm like, why do we do this to ourselves?
It's the Antoine Walker of hobbies, too, because
you can't just go out there and do it 5 times. You've got to go out there and do 5. If you get an opportunity, you got to take 500 shots.
Correct. You've got to take 500 shots, and you will get 2 or 3 really great ones, and that's what makes it all worth it.
Especially in the sports photography field.
Definitely.
In following everybody online and watching YouTube tutorials and reading stuff, I do think people overdo it, like in the street photography thing, because so much of that is not moving, and so you just think something looks cool, so then you go shoot at it 67 times, and I think that's silly. As a novice, I'm clearly a novice here. I don't know what I'm talking about. But in the sports photography, I feel like you got to get like 1,000 reps every time you get a chance because there's so much happening, so much movement, so much light change, so many angles you could grab. And you're not going to know any of that unless you do 500 shots in 45 minutes.
Yeah. You know what my mom would say to this, the photographer by trade, she would say, just be glad you don't have to get the film developed to see what you got.
Good point. Yeah, you can walk out of there and know.
I got, so I bought an old Sony mirrorless, like a 12-year-old Sony mirrorless, nice A7 II, okay? And it was great when it first came out, but it is like a decade plus old. And I knew that going into it, but I wanted something that I felt like was a used grandma Lexus that I could like get some mileage out of and figure out how to do this. And then of course, once I get better at it and want to start turning it into something, maybe we could make another additional little investment, but I knew what I was getting. But I also have from 1978, I called my dad up and I said, hey, I know you used to have this old film camera. In my mind, I know exactly what it looks like. I know what the strap looks like. Do you still have that laying around? Because he doesn't really throw things away. You talk about a stuff haver. my guys got some stuff. They got a whole room in their house. It's just our version of stuff, but it's just multiple generations piled on top of other stuff. And he was like, yeah, I think I got it. He's got the original case and package thing and why am I like the satchel that my grandfather, who I never got to know, bought this in like 1978.
What kind of camera?
It's a Nikon FE.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
My
Oh,
mom,
yeah.
back in those days, my mom always shot Pentax.
Yeah. Been knowing that name
We
now that
had
I've been
like
getting into
three
cameras.
in the early mid 80s. We had like 3 Pentax. I'm pretty sure she hung on to those
If
in
she's
varying
giving one away, or I don't know.
until I don't know if she still has them or not, but until
If
she
they're
went,
just, if one's collecting dust, I don't want her to have to deal with it at the estate sale. Like,
That's a nice. What a nice guy.
I'm just
I
trying to
might
help
have some
out.
stuff for
the
you, Brad.
estate sale. It's going to be so long. Do you know how you? Oh, well, we've talked about this. We all have very young parents. You ever thought about how old we're going to be when our parents are gone? We're going to be old as shit. My mom specifically, she's way too healthy. She's probably going to outlive all of us.
I start whenever I have those thoughts, I'm like, man, if this goes right, I got a lot of death ahead of me. If this goes the way I want it to go, there's a bunch of death in the
That's
future.
That's not just you, buddy.
Yeah, that's
I know,
one way
but
to look at it.
I know, but that's when you start really having those mortality thoughts, right? Like if this goes the way you want it to go, there's a decent amount in your future. I know I was talking photography. Jace, did you have anything else?
No, I don't have anything.
I thought you were going to say something about that real quick. I didn't know because you said I have something. I'm sorry. I just didn't want to leave you hanging.
No, I was just saying I have some camera stuff for you. Maybe we can talk later.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'll take it. You can just throw it at me. Whatever it is. I don't care.
Do you guys remember last week's struggle to find my missing AirPod? And it was
We do.
and the location was right there, and I couldn't. I had to have AirPods for work the next day, so the new ones were here by 12:20 p.m. Right? I mean, ordered them at 10. They were here 3 hours later. Get to the end of the day, it's 10 o'clock, whatever. You guys have seen me drink out of this trusty Meat Fight Yeti tumbler that I've had for, I don't know, the rest of my family has bought like 46 Stanleys and Owalas and whatever other brands there are. And I've always had this white Meat Fight tumbler for like 7 years.
Mm-hmm.
It has a lid with a magnetic closure.
Sunday I was going to find it too. I couldn't wait for the story.
I went to go to bed and I had this. I'd been drinking out of this all day, but I hadn't really refilled it. I had it on my counter next to the sink in the bathroom, and I looked and I just saw white in there, and I opened it up. The missing AirPod was affixed to the underside of the magnet part on
That's so good.
the lid of the Yeti. And here's the thing. I went to bed Saturday night with a half full Yeti of water and the right AirPod in my ear and fell asleep. I typically will wake up and put the AirPod in.
Were you alcohol drunk? I could not go to sleep with an AirPod in.
Well, I always do. I always
Really?
do. Yeah, I'll listen to music. I just
Like
take
as a
one out and
matter
roll
of
over because I'm a side sleeper
practice?
typically. What's that?
Like as a matter of practice, like you're just like,
About
hey,
every
I'm
day. Yeah.
going to bed. I'm popping an AirPod in.
Well, I'll have both in, and then I'll kind of doze off, and then I'll be like, well, I just want to roll over on my side. I'll take one out, pop it in the case, roll over, fall asleep, wake up a couple hours later, take it out, put it in the case, go back to sleep.
I
Every
could
night
not do that.
No,
ever.
No chance.
But that particular Saturday night,
My brain
I
would
did
just be focusing on the sound too much.
no, you didn't like go to. This is a whole different. This opens up a whole nother tree of discussion. You didn't like listen to the radio at night going to sleep as a kid. Like, do you sleep in silence?
No, we got to have all the white noise.
Yeah, I'm saying.
Okay, well, okay. Before 2002, when the
Uh-huh.
white noise industry took over, when Big White Noise came to town, what'd you do?
I don't think I think maybe I could have
Really?
ambient music sound. I don't think I could have it just drumming into my ear.
Well, it's not like I've got it cranked up to
Yeah,
11.
I mean that's fair, but it just
I don't have it on like mowing volume where
those
it's like,
surround like that surround sound that it's so like it doesn't allow for. I don't know. I think it would just scratch my brain, honestly.
well, regardless, I did this as I always do, and I fell asleep. It was late. It was beyond 3:30 a.m.
Jesus Christ.
asleep with the one in, the one that got lost, and this thing half full or whatever. I woke up at 8:30 or whatever to come out here and talk to you guys. No AirPod, which is totally normal. It's usually in the case. And this thing, lid on, empty. So it went from lid on, AirPod out, half full, to lid on, empty, AirPod inside.
How?
And then I drank on it all day. So the pod bud just kept getting wet all day. It does still work. I gave them to Maya to see if she wants to use them because I'm sure it'll in 3 or 4 months it'll probably die. The last time I got one wet a few years ago, that's what happened. So
How did it get in there?
that's what I'm saying, dude. Did I take the lid? It had to have been that I woke up in the middle of the night
Yeah.
and took the lid off.
Mm-hmm.
Why?
In sleep consciousness, which has never happened, but just so happened to put the lid in a place on the nightstand where it clicked onto the AirPod magnetically, and then the lid went back on.
And you don't remember any of those steps. So you woke up to a
I was dead asleep,
cup with the lid on, but empty.
but empty, and then it
With the AirPod stuck on the inside of the bottom of the lid.
Because you're just trying to open something to put that AirPod in. You might have just opened the lid, clicked it, moved on with your life.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
It's so hard to take this lid off, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Those things are...
You got to be a
Like-
two-handed operation, whereas the AirPod case, you just it's nothing.
Dude.
Yeah, I don't know, and I don't normally that's never happened, but that type of thing of waking up to changes in the environment and not being aware of them because I did them in my sleep, that's not in my playbook. I know some people, like my dad, like when my dad had jobs that would work weird hours, sometimes he would have these like just get up and walk around and he was asleep and wouldn't remember it. Like,
I don't
that's never really been a
sleepwalk.
thing for me.
I've been told I do something though.
I'll also be told I talk once in a while, but it's been several years.
I don't. I'm sorry, Jace. You had a hand signal.
You do?
No, it's
I
just
do
saying wrap
something.
it up.
Apparently, I will in the middle of the night, and I will have no recollection. I will have no memory of it.
Just keep a towel by your bed.
What are you trying to say? You keep cocking a shotgun, and now you're talking about towels. What do you get? Quit beating your bush.
I have no recollection, I swear. It was in my sleep.
That's not what I'm talking about. But apparently, I will honk or.
Okay. Oh, you son of a bitch. You son of a bitch. Oh, it's in my sleep. I don't even know what I'm doing.
What? How are you selling me out here? Be a friend. I'm serious.
By the way, Rylan, you weren't here, but he sold me out earlier to his sweet wife. So, yeah.
That's what he does,
Listen,
man.
This is for her. He ain't asleep.
Okay.
He ain't asleep.
Never
on.
been asleep.
Your guy is wide awake. And he's taking full opportunity.
No.
Taking full 100%.
That
He
is
sets
not-
his alarm, all.
Okay.
He sets his...
Yes, a silent alarm. It buzzes
how-
him awake.
You know how we're always dealing with something, and you think, "Wow, sometimes this feels like a lot." Like, let's say with the kids are having an issue, and we've talked about it before. But some of our kids have therapy relationships and
Mhm.
go to see professionals for one reason or another. There's no reason to get into it, but you think, man, it seems like there's a lot going on sometimes. And then you hear about somebody else's situation, and you're like, well, we haven't had that, or we hadn't dealt with that. I encountered one of those this week where a friend at school was telling one of the kids, like, hey, I go to therapy. And the kid asked, well, what are you going to therapy for? This goes back to our earlier conversation about death. Apparently, this young person goes to therapy because they are so afraid of death that they, like, when they lay down to go to sleep, they are afraid they're not even going to wake up.
Mm-hmm.
And
Same.
I just thought, like, damn, you think you've encountered a lot of stuff. And, like, what kind of fucking obstacle would that throw in the family life if one of them's just like, I can't go to sleep, I'm gonna die? Like, I feel bad, but I also think about like the implications and the dealing and all of that. You know how you start thinking like, well, if that was us, like, what does that look like? Because I know what we struggle with when we're dealing with A, B, and C, and like I know what those like hard times are and everything. But that just seems like one of those pretty tall mountains where somebody's afraid to go to sleep and telling you they think they're gonna die. Like, I feel bad. Like, it's a young kid. This is not like somebody who you think you could just kind of rationalize with.
I think that all kids go through something like this. Obviously, this is sort of a ratcheted up version of that, but all of my kids have gone through something similar, and I think all kids do. You just may or may not hear about it as parents because either they're well adjusted is the wrong word, but either they've developed coping mechanisms at that age, and they're like, all right, it's going to be okay. I trust my parents, or their brain hasn't developed that yet, and they're the ones that are in therapy, like this kid. But the fear of death, like that, happens almost like very consistently across that age group.
I get that. I just that it's connected to bedtime and like going to sleep. I feel like that's really got to be a struggle because there's already so many struggles built around bedtime and going to bed. Like,
oh, for the parents, you're saying that's a struggle.
Just like a family, like a family unit. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I doubt that the anxiety around I'm going to die in my sleep, I doubt that hits Brad when we're like 2.5 and figuring out how to not come get in mom and dad's bed. Like, I feel, I don't think.
No, I'm saying,
like, I think your sleep stress situation hopefully is toddler and younger, and then this.
No, I'm not talking about that kind. I'm talking about the one not wanting to go to sleep, pushing what time we're going to sleep. Can I keep watching iPad? Do I have to do all this stuff? Like that kind of the routine and the time and
go to bed.
You know what I'm saying? So that there would be this other like pretty profound obstacle that we're
takes it up a notch.
Navigating. Like that just sounds like
the luxury of it is, though, at least that it's unequivocally an unhealthy not behavior, but it's an unhealthy feeling that you can consciously work on techniques to get around and eventually overcome.
Yeah.
We are always dealing with the more nebulous ADHD and anxiety, but I have ADHD and anxiety, so I do that. Well, but you don't need to you need to have a better way to do that. You have to live in regular society. You can't live in the parameters of, you know what I mean? Like you have to live in the world with everybody else.
You're not the pathology. You're not the diagnosis.
Right. Or like your reaction or handling of that is natural and kind of fair, but you're growing up and you're a teenager and you kind of need to change it like 21%. Like that's actually a lot harder than, hey,
go to bed
in your sleep. Yeah. I mean, it's more severe. It's a more severe symptom, but it's a much more direct.
And that's what I started wondering is like what exists upstream of this? Like what's our
anxiety?
Yeah, but like, is it trauma? Is it an inciting thing? Did somebody die in their fucking sleep? Because
Did
like,
they have a granddad died, and then it was like it imprinted on them when they were
Yeah.
5, and
that
yeah.
because those are one of those things
No.
that's I think the only thing that rids you of that is like time, and so you just struggle for whatever your sentence is there.
I never felt like that about death. I don't know if that's like a
That's the other thing too. Is I wholly cannot relate to.
yeah. I know a lot of people, like Jason was saying. I know it's common, and I know you hear people, parents of kids that are like 6 and under, their kids. You hear them telling stories about their kids going through asking all kinds of questions about dying and who died and why they died and when am I going to die and what happens when. I don't really even remember having that.
Yep. My daughter definitely went through this, and she has really tough anxiety. She's now medicated and doing 1,000,000% better. Shout out medicine, because good God, that changed her whole life. In fact, it got so bad.
People live, dude.
Dude,
Like, I mean,
I don't get
they
it.
never had a problem. Okay, or I shouldn't say problem. That sounds bad. They never had a kid with a challenge.
Yeah. So she
They beat the shit out
we tried telling her to work out more, and it didn't solve everything, shockingly. But
Go for a walk.
she's doing so much better and is able to live a normal life. But this was, to me, like, this was the beginning of sign. Well, not the beginning. She went through a lot of different phases of anxiety. One was, I can't go to school. I'm so scared to go to school. I can't do it.
Yeah.
She would hide in her closet. Then we went through the death phase, which is, it started with, I'm worried my parents are going to die.
Yeah.
Like, I'm so nervous that my parents are going to die.
Yeah.
And then it became medical anxiety, where she was aware of death, and she was like, well, now I'm going to die. Like, everything that feels weird, is this going to exist forever? Am I going to pass away? All of which, we all know is illogical, but in her little brain, like, that's the way. And then we like graduated to full on panic attacks, where it was like, I can't breathe, and like crying. And then we went to the doctor, and then she got medicine. All of that just completely disappeared, while not changing her personality in any way, which is amazing.
It's funny how much the underlying theme of whatever it is that's bothering me, I'm afraid it's going to be like this forever.
Yes.
It's never going to change. That's like the immediate, like the snowball, and you can't let it go from there. One of the phases we had was go to bed 9:00, wake up about 11, come downstairs, claim to have not slept at all. We know for a fact you didn't sit up there and patiently for 2 hours. You're 8 years old, and you're not that type of person. And then adamantly claim that you didn't fall asleep, and that you can't fall asleep, which is true. Can't fall asleep is a real thing, and that you're never going to be able to fall asleep. And then just sort of occupying our room like a protester, waiting for us to flip the magic switch to make you just fall asleep, which is impossible. That
It's a huge one.
That was the biggest sort of like, okay, it's time to outsource this to a professional, because that was like, you talking about, you got a kid that sleeps through the night when they're 3 weeks old, and then when they're in 3rd grade, they're like, I'm never going to sleep again.
Yeah, never. And they're panicky about it. Like, this is the worst thing that could ever happen to me in my life. And then, like you said, it just sort of snowballs into everything else. And
you with us about it. And we,
yeah,
you've been up there for 3 hours. We know you at least slept a little bit. I don't know. We're going to court over this,
Kids are great.
Good stuff, guys. Welcome to
we killed it. We killed it today.
Necessarily with all of with extremities and finishings.
You are really, really bad at this. Like, you shouldn't even be doing a podcast.
That I should hit. I'm going to run to Home Depot and buy a bunch of gravel. You guys got me thinking I should hit that Whataburger drive-through.
Yeah, why don't you get you a little breakfast on a bun?
They stop at 11, right?
Yeah, you still got an hour. That's the good thing about Whataburgers, that they'll go after everybody. Although I drove by a McDonald's last night because we had a real welcomed Friday night volleyball practice, and hitting that drive-through at McDonald's about 8:00. They got a manually made location sign, like some of the employees made it. and it said burritos and biscuits all day, every day.
Wow.
Did they go rogue?
I don't know if they went rogue or, but you can have
more about this.
2 breakfast items all day, every day at this
Pick
location.
2. They go to the GM and they say, "Hey, you can pick 2."
Yeah. I just thought it was the weirdest thing I'd ever seen because it's not even part of the menu. It was an actual made sign, laminated and stuck up on there.
I like
So-
it. I appreciate.
I thought
those
breakfast all day
individuals.
was one of their better choices. I still think everybody should have to deal with breakfast all day. I don't care if it's more difficult.
I like the idea of it only being available in the morning. It just makes it. It's like barbecue, where once you run out, it's gone. That's the way I like McDonald's to be.
Sonic will do breakfast on you all day.
Yeah, and it's not good,
I didn't say it was good.
Not
I said they do
terrible.
it all day. Yeah,
Not
it's
terrible.
Not terrible.
but it's not good. I mean, it's like maybe
It's
top 10.
middle of the road. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
serviceable.
For Brad Ryland and bariatric taint Jason.
Check your
Bariatric pressure taint.
Bariatric pressure taint. Him and Dad's 263. Tell your mom to listen. Bring the bread. Mix in a tortilla. Season your bacon. Climb the ladder. Put a bow on it. Keep
Freeze
it
your hot
tight.
dog.
Freeze your hot dog. Spread your neck. Climb the ladder. Holler at y'all next time. Which is Easter. So I don't know what we got next week, fellas.
Okay, it's Easter.
observing
Will you
that
guys do
he-
something for Easter?
He's going to an Easter brunch. I guarantee you he is.
Who, me?
Yeah, you.
No, that's tomorrow,
Oh,
and
my
we're at
bad.
volleyball. So,
All right, boys. Good enough.
Hey,
Next time.
Keep it real.
well, I
Shout
maybe.
out.
Well, no, I'll take that back. My wife may have made a reservation somewhere.
Ooh,
Yeah,
reservation.
that tends to happen a lot around. here.
Elective decision.
Yeah.
Elective decision.
Gosh, the amount of money I would pay for someone in my life to make a reservation.
Yeah, but it's not until 11:30.
I'm
So
going to stop you right there, bud. We're just going to end the recording. There, you use this in court.